What's up, tricksters and tricksettas from the second YouTube channel watching another Tier 3 sub VOD review from my Discord server. Today, on the coaching table, once again we have Hierarchy, which is at Platinum 1, Omen main on Bind. Let's see what the Hierarchy has to say to us. I feel like I'm doing fine in Bind, 1.14 KD. Not bad, very good, which is one of my better KDs in the current map pool, but I have an abysmal win rate on Bind, 11.1% with Omen. And I want to know and learn what I'm doing wrong and can improve on. Let's see. One of my current goals is having an 80% KST and higher clutch percentage, 7%. Do you have any advice for me? I always try to think about teammates and focus on playing with them, but my KST is still super low, 74.2%. 74.2% is not bad. You know, it's good, it's optimal. You don't need to aim for 80% KST. As long as you're in the range of 75 to 80, you're fine. And when it comes to overall clutch percentage, like, having 7% is way too much. You know, realistic clutch percentage is 5%. I'm gonna explain a bit later, when we see your tracker. My clutch percentage is bad and I feel like it's due to me having bad aim and not utilizing Shorty well enough. I have yet to master Shorty as a sidearm and don't know how to isolate 1v1s well or force enemies into taking 1v1 close range gunfight where I can abuse Shorty to get an easy kill. I feel like I have one of the worst aim in Platinum Elo and that my aim isn't good even when compared to golds and silvers, and I have been aim training at least twice a week, can't commit to aim training outside of weekends, as I have an important... aim training twice a week, you know, if you have a terrible aim, you really need to aim train every fucking day, you know, like, basically, training should be something that is consistent for you in Valorant. Like, I would value training on the same level as playing the game, you know? Like, and aim training doesn't need to be long, you know? Like, aim training can be part of your warm-up. Like, 20 minutes of deathmatch, some proper Kovacs and aim lab routine, more than enough, man. You know, like 80% of Valorant community is not doing anything. You know, like they're not even training any skill set at all. I don't know. And I find VOD reviewing more important than aim training. But at my level, which would you recommend more? From Iron 1 to Diamond 3, I would actually recommend players to focus more on their decision making, game knowledge, and mechanical skill. So basically, you should not prioritize VOD reviewing over aim training at this skill level. It should be equal. You know, for every VOD review that you do, you should have at least 30 minutes to 60 minutes of solid aim training. You know? And you can skim through your VODs really fast. You don't need to observe every round. Like, you know, you can just observe the most important rounds and focus the rest of the time training your mechanical skill, you know, movement, aim, angle holding, crosshair placement, blah, 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 blah. Now, I follow your advice on 3 games of Valorant per day and end the day off with VOD review when I'm free. Lastly, I really want to improve on my movement, peeking, etc. Okay. And we have the VOD. I hope you don't mind my yapping in the background. I was streaming for my friends to see. I removed their audio, but I didn't remove my mic. Since comms is one thing I really want to prioritize and improve on, so I want to have feedback if my comms are effective and efficient or ways I could comm better. Generally speaking, communication... Okay, let's talk about the communication in Valorant. Let's talk about that topic first. Communication in Valorant. It is important, but not that much. Essentially, in Valorant, you primarily want to focus. Your primary focus with comms is giving the macro and micro info for your teammates, what you see, what you want to do, and if you really have some kind of good plan for your team. So basically, you know, when is communication important in Valorant? It is very important to navigate your teammates in the first round, on both attackers and defenders side. It is very important to navigate your teammates in eco round, when enemies are eco and hull buy. It is very important when you're playing anti-eco rounds. You know, it's very important to come and give some kind of a strategy and tactic in bonus rounds. as well. When your team is eco, that's also very important to actually come. So essentially, in the first 4 rounds, you should be telling your teammates what to do, where to go, what makes more sense to be done in a specific round. But later during the match, your comms should be on a very basic level, where you're not annoying, but you're just trying to have higher chances of winning, and macro and micromanaging your teammates in a way where, you give them simple information. Hey, Sova, Cypher is playing with the tripwires here. I cannot execute a bomb site. Can you shock their disposition? Cypher, we're playing Sunset. We're pushing the B site. Cypher, can you please do a camera here so we can spot the B main and see if the enemies actually take the B main control? Your Sage is doing some stupid wall on split that is hurting your win potential. Like, I don't know, like she's walling, I don't know, B main instead of the mid 24/7, and enemies are taking the mid control 24/7 on the attacker side. Tell her to do the wall for tower or for mid and try to slow down their push and try to fuck them up. So essentially, like, that's how your communication should look like in Valorant. It doesn't need to be some super high level of communication, like, organizing everything in a perfect way. Nihat Zainalov, thank you a lot for the Prime Gaming sub, baby. Muchas gracias, per favor. So, just a second. So, your communication doesn't need to be some super high level of comms where you give your teammates some every strategy that you do in ranked environment should be simple to the level where even the player with 50 IQ can understand your communication and can understand your strategy. Especially if you have the info where the enemies are, what they're doing, you're reading through the enemy's patterns. Those are the comms you should be giving. So you don't need to be, I don't know, a professional IGL in your games, but still, you can try to macromanage and micromanage your teammates. If your teammates are not listening to your comms, fuck it. Just adapt to your allies. Like, basically, which skill sets are more important than communication? Skill sets that are more important than communication. Number 1, game knowledge. If your game knowledge is poor, God knows what type of comms you're gonna give to your allies. Decision making, team play, and adaptiveness. And of course, like, mechanical skill. All of these skill sets here are far, like, beyond than more important compared to communication. Like, essentially, comms are only important, like, in few specific rounds. It's important to tell your teammates the important information, like, that might potentially win us the round. And the real Valorant and the real, like, game of Valorant is actually playable after, like, Immortal 3 400 rank rating. Like, after Immortal 3 400 rank rating, that's where you should actually try to IGL your team and tell them what to do, because you should expect that these players are not mentally retarded and mentally unstable. But that is not true. Like, a lot of the players above Immortal 3 400 rank rating are mentally unstable and mentally fucked up. So, at Platinum Elo, focusing on comms, like, it's better to focus on yourself, polishing out your gameplay, developing your game knowledge, decision-making, team play, adaptiveness, and mechanical skill to higher levels, and comms, like, later. And how to improve communication, there's so many different trainings and routines that you can do to improve your communication. One of my favorites is playing the deathmatch. And instead of deathmatch, when you're clearing the angles, when you're, taking the fights with the enemies, in a moment of time as you're taking the fights, you should be coming to yourself. One guy A main, one guy B main. I killed one guy A main. I'm rotating to A short. I hear footsteps mid. I'm peeking mid. That's one of the easiest and the best ways to improve your communication in any FPS game, to be honest. Like, playing deathmatch, playing some practice tool within that game, and giving the valuable communication. So, communication is important, not that much for ranked environment. Like, I'm never teaching players in my coaching sessions to be IGLs. I'm teaching them more how to be adaptive players. Like, it is much more important for you to learn this topic, like how to be an impactful, adaptive, and an aware player that is able to play every single scenario to perfection, rather than, you know, being an IGL in a team full of fucking monkeys that God knows, you know, what they're gonna do for you. Tell them to use some important utility for you, for your team. Tell them to change something if the change is necessary. Tell them what to push if you have a good read onto the enemies, but other than that, fuck it. Now, let's dive into the tracker first. Let's dive into the tracker first. So this act, you played 95 matches. That's really good playtime. I mean, like, 53 hours, like, over, like, 95 games in, like, 1 month. That's okay. Like, that's like 3 games per day. Generally speaking, if you want to improve at Valorant, and if you really want to grind ranked solo queue, I always recommend to players 3 games minimum per day, and the rest of the time, you should invest in aim training, developing your awareness, developing your game knowledge, VOD reviewing, etc, etc. You also asked me the question here. I mean, you prioritize VOD reviewing over aim training. Don't do that. Like, okay. Skill sets priority from Iron 1 to Diamond 3. So, number 1 priority for you, if you are like between Iron 1 and Diamond 3, is improving your game knowledge. Game knowledge, you don't only improve like through VOD reviews. You also improve it by watching the guides, implementing the strategies from my ranked playbook, implementing the proper utility usage, executes tactics, strategies, watching other players play, etc, etc. Number 2 focus are your game decisions. Essentially, like, that's where VOD reviews are gonna help you, but the game decisions are as important for you as your mechanical skill. So essentially, like, if you have let's say you have like 1 hour to do some kind of a training during a specific day. I would do 30 minutes of mechanical training, crosshair placement, raw mechanical skill, peeking angles, clearing angles, movement, etc, etc. And I would do 30 minutes of something else. Spending time in a custom server, practicing utility usage, VOD reviewing fast through my VODs, the most important rounds from which I can actually learn, watching other players play, and that's it. So those are the 3 most important skill sets that you need to master going from Iron 1 to Diamond 3. And then when you're going from like Ascendant 1 to Immortal 2, team play is number 1, game knowledge number 2, decision making number 3, mechanical skill number 4. When you're going from Immortal 3 to Radiant, number 1 game knowledge, number 1 adaptiveness, like your ability to play every single scenario to perfection and to make proper game decisions in real time. Number 2 game knowledge, number 3 decision making, number 4 team play, number 5 mechanical skill, number 6 everything else, communication, mentality, attitude, psychological factors in Valorant. So I heavily recommend you have at least 15 minutes of proper warm-up and 15 minutes of some kind of a focused aim training routine on your most visible problems. That's better. When it comes to splitting your time and, focusing on certain problems within your gameplay. You said that you're trying to improve your KST, KST is very important statistic. 74% is okay. Not bad, not terrible, not mega good. It's fine, essentially, KST is improved by being a more disciplined player, understanding win conditions, understanding reframe potential on a higher level, and understanding obviously what is a stupid death, what is an unnecessary death, understanding proper pathing. So to improve KST, you really need to improve a lot of different aspects of your skill set as a player. Especially, the amount of times that you die in a stupid way should be reduced to bare minimum. When it comes to the clutch percentage, you said that you're aiming for 7%. Clutch, if you have a 7% clutch percentage, you're a god player. Overall clutch percentage, what you're aiming for is 5 to maximum 6%. Because, obviously, 1 versus 5s 1 versus 4s, and 1 versus 3s, you're going to clutch once in a blue moon. But 1v1s and 1v2s, you should clutch at least 50% of time. 50 to 60% of time. So you need to do something better in a 1v1s, and 1v2s, I don't know what better, because we need to see your gameplay basically. Only through VOD reviews I can help you with clutches and how to play smartly, you know, how to play slow, what type of utility usage you should do, etc, etc. When it comes to the agents that you're playing, I see that you're primarily maining Omen, Chamber, and Viper, and a bit of Jet. To be honest, you know, if I was you, on Breeze, I would just be insta-locking in Chamber and playing Viper as a secondary fill pick. On every other map, you can just rock with Omen and Chamber. Like, for an example, on Ascent, both Omen and Chamber are great. You can play Omen as a main character, Chamber as a secondary pick. On Split, Omen main pick, Chamber secondary. Lotus, Omen main, Chamber secondary. On Breeze, Chamber main, Viper secondary. Sunset, both Omen, you can experiment with both Omen and Chamber. On Sunset, Chamber is really good. Like, you have a really fucking good strategist on the defender side to outplay the enemies with the teleport and fuck them up. On Icebox, I would recommend you to main Chamber as a primary pick. Omen can work all the way up to Immortal 3. Even after Immortal 3, if you're applying everything from the exclusive coaching videos that I'll share with you, because as far as I remember, we did some coaching sessions together, and I did share some really... Yeah, I did share like Icebox videos with you, and these videos are really showcasing every single Omen strategy on Ice Cox. After Immortal 3, Viper is just better. And on Bind, I really have no idea how the fuck you have like such a high KD, ADR, ACS, and you're losing so many games on Bind. But to be honest, your win rate in ranked solo queue is not only impacted by how good you play a specific map or how good you play a specific game. Like, for example, I have some acts where, you know, I would say that I have mastered playing Icebox, Split, and Bind. Those are my best maps statistically, and on these maps I have the highest game knowledge. But in some acts I have, like, you know, 20% win rate on Icebox, 20% win rate on Split, 20% win rate on Bind. Like, your win rate in ranked solo is not only impacted by your performance. You don't know. You know, are you gonna get the toxic teammates? Are you gonna have some trolls, some levers? Like, you know, players that you get, players that you play with and against, dictate your win rate by 40%. Like, there's 40% of matches that are simply uncarryable. Like, there's nothing that you can do to win them. So maybe these 40% of games that you played, you mainly play them on Bind. Unlucky for you, you know, like 60% of rounds, matches, and gunfights are your fault, essentially. Like, 60% of things in a game of Valorant you can realistically impact. 40% of things not within your control. But if you can have a 60% win rate, you're already a radiant player, to be honest. You know, like, when I'm coaching players in Valorant, I never say to the player that I coach, like, yeah, man, you're gonna have like 100% win rate. Impossible. 80%, impossible. Like, 60% is a realistic win rate that you're aiming towards to. 60% win rate in terms of the clutches, 60% win rate in terms of the rounds that you play, matches that you play, etc, etc. Okay, I mean, your statistics are, I mean, quite okay. I mean, like, you're losing on both attack and defense equally. Like, matches played, that skills. We'll see what happens for you on Bind the Roni. What the fuck is Killjoy? Come on, man. Now, when it comes to your weaponry, pistol rounds, highest rounds, muy bien. You have my rank playbooks, you have my exclusive coaching videos. This is what I expect from every single player that gets the coaching from me, and every single player that gets the rank playbook. Your pistol rounds should be at the top. Love it. Full buy rounds are there, semis are there. Ecos, I think your eco rounds can definitely become a bit better, since you're playing Chamber and Omen and Viper as your main characters. Like, essentially in eco rounds, if you have like below, like, what is a good KD and good impact in eco rounds? If you're able to have a 0.95 to 1 KD in eco rounds, you're a very valuable asset for your team in those type of rounds. Like in eco rounds, your goal is not to win them. Your goal is to trade yourself for as many kills as possible before, you know, your teammates get stomped in that eco round. So those rounds are the rounds where I don't really value my life over the life of my teammates. I just try to go in, trade myself for like 1, 2, 3 kills with a shorty, with a classic stinger. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, not stinger, but sheriff, like any gun that I have. And you need to have some out-of-the-box strategies for eco rounds. Like, eco rounds are the rounds that actually impact your KST in a negative way. Like, those are the rounds where you don't have any impact. Like, 65 KST in eco rounds is like, you know, not that Gucci, not that Gucci. When it comes to your weaponry, like Vandal, Classic, Stinger, Ghost, Bulldog, Sheriff, Guardian, yeah, it's okay. You know, I would definitely recommend you to try to master the Operator and put Operator a bit higher. Like in Platinum and Diamond Elo, essentially like, in Platinum and Diamond Elo, Operator is a free Elo stick. You should definitely master it, even if you're playing Omen, Viper, and, I mean, especially Chamber. Outlaw is definitely a weapon that you need to pick up a lot more. A shorty should be higher, and everything else is quite okay. Like, I mean, like, Stinger is there, like, that's okay. You know, not that bad. But you should definitely, you know, split these skills from the Vandal on other weapons as well. You know, like, the tracker should not look like this. You should have, like, identical amount of kills with the Vandal as you have, like, with a, I don't know, some Operator, Outlaw, some Eco Halba weapon, like, essentially, like, you will never see me, like, play Vandal that many times. Like, weapons that I play. So, let's talk about that topic. What decides? Which factors decide which weapons you want to play? Number one factor is obviously map that you're playing. Like on some maps, certain weapons are far better than some other weapons. You know, like on Icebooks, you can win a match with Outlaw, Operator, and Sheriff, basically. Like on Breeze as well. Like, you don't need to touch any other weapon, to be honest. Team compositions also dictate which weapons you want to primarily abuse. And of course, like, enemies' playstyle and mistakes in their gameplay dictate which weapons you want to abuse. You know, enemies are pushing, I don't know, like, on split. Enemies are just rushing the B-main, like a monkey is. Pick up the Operator, fast dead zone peek here, crouch peek, kill one enemy, get the fuck out. Easy kill. Enemies are taking mid control without a single flash, smoke, nothing. Play vents with op, take a kill, get the fuck out. Enemies are pushing onto the B tower without a single like recon utility flash. Play the fucking judge on this position around the smoke, take easy kills. Okay, I think we can just dive into the VOD review here. So, Bind, Omen, let's go. Let's learn something new. A reminder for all of you guys, on my Discord server you can get a ranked playbook that I'm trying to complete for every single agent. Like, currently, Jet and Omen are only completed, but next week I'm gonna do Icebox guide and Breeze guide on Jet and Omen completely. And during this month I'm gonna finish Raze. During the next month I'm gonna finish the Yoru. And then the 5th agent is probably going to be Chamber. After Chamber I'm gonna do some Sentinel. And I think the 6th agent for our ranked playbook is gonna be Cypher. I really enjoy playing Cypher right now because he's buffed as fuck. And I don't think they're gonna nerf him. So, you know, like, he's really, really Gucci gang, you know, Gucci gang. Okay, Stop the cringe. Let's see.
Okay.
Binder Summer. Defending side on bind. Okay, listen. Defense of bind. Your default bomb set on a defender side of bind, and number one priority is A site. What is the default bomb set in Valorant? Bomb set that you prioritize on attack and defense when you have no idea what enemies are gonna do next or what the fuck you want to do next. Essentially, it is the side that is easier for the post plant, harder for retake, easier for the attack, harder for defense. That doesn't mean that you should play this side 24-7, but in the earlier stages of the game, usually the best idea is to opt in to play B side, and if you're already autopiloting or you're like you have no idea what the fuck to do, play B side. Secondary focus, A side. In the first round on a defender side, you're always playing B side. Always. With any fucking agent. And the best idea is to put hardcore sentinels, such as Cypher, Deadlock, Sage, Killjoy, on the A side, and to play 3 players B in the first round. And 2 hardcore agents that can stop the enemy's push on A side. In the second round, most of the times, you play B side, and the only time when you should play A side in the second round of bind is if enemies in the first round, enemies pushed B side in the first round, you fuck them up on B, second round, you're playing on A side. So with Omen in the first round, without any doubts, what I would always recommend you to do is a classic pistol shorty strategy here. Classic light shield, 1 shrouded step, 1 smoke available. You drop the shorty on the ground, pick up the shorty, listen to the enemy's footsteps. Or, based on timing, you want to do this type of a smoke. If your teammates get a contact with the enemies on A side and A short, you want to instantly give them this smoke and rotate with a classic pistol towards the A side. If enemies are silent and or you get a contact with the enemies in B main, at around 7 or 8 seconds after the round starts, you want to deploy this smoke with a cubby position here, where you can hide from the enemy's random spam, and you can dodge the enemy's recon utility, and you want to fuck up the enemies that are pushing through hookah. Trust me, there is always going to be someone pushing through hookah. Be patient. If you already have the info that all 5 enemies are B long, then teleport into the site, and from the site, support your teammates and try to fuck up the enemies. Or maybe you can even stay with the shorty, delete 1 enemy here, take his pistol, and then fuck up the rest of the enemies. Adaptiveness is very important when you're playing this strategy. Let's see what you're gonna do. You're gonna play A side like a monkey. What the fuck are you doing? I mean, there is a chance that enemies are gonna push A in this first round, but I would not gamble that much. There's no way. And if you're already playing A side in the first round of bind, this is what I usually do with Omen. So what I do is I buy the classic with Paranoia, 1 shrouded step and 2 smokes. And basically, I'm playing here with the Paranoia and shorty. And basically, when the enemies are pushing, I do the smoke. I try to flash the enemy Raze jet that are dashing in. I flash the enemies, take a kill here, take the classic pistol, and then continue on with the round and, you know, whatever the fuck enemies are doing, like, basically. If the enemies are pushing B side, just take a classic pistol and just rotate. You have tons of utility for the retake and to support yourself and to support your allies. But I would never, you know, on this map, on bind, shorty is really fucking powerful weapon. All of the shotguns are fucking OP. Outlaw is a really good anti-eco weapon because you can hold so many off angles and so many good tight pixel angles to fuck up the enemies. Operator is also good on a defender side. And, you know, Phantom and Vandal, I buy them when occasionally. Depends, you know, what I think is gonna happen. I don't know, this type of a fight that you're taking here, personally, I wouldn't pick this angle with a classic pistol. Like, with the classic pistol, you're always aiming for the gunfights that are between, like, 0 and maximum 20 meters. Already after 20 meters, classic pistol is very unstable weapon. Like, the spread of the bullets is too fucking high. Look at this. And if the enemies have a ghost or sheriff, they're gonna destroy you. So if you have a classic pistol, this fight, I will take with the enemies. I will take with the enemies. I will take with the enemies. You know? But this fight, I will just be jump spotting this, getting the info for my team, maybe spamming into the smoke and waiting for the enemies to initiate the execute and try to outplay them somehow. Let's put the audio of the VOD a bit higher. Okay, very good repositioning. I like it quite a lot. I like it quite a lot.
Oops.
Very good that you're following your Phoenix. Phoenix can die like a potato. Very good at game decisions thus far. Okay. Very good decision making. Okay.
Oh.
Okay. Now reposition with a teleport. Never mind, let's take that kill. Enemies can still be showers. Very bad position right now. Showers, game awareness. Listen. So, two of your teammates are playing together. You know, like, Yoru is here. Your Phoenix is here. You don't need to play with them anymore. Like, observe every single possibility in the game. Like, if you already stopped the enemy's push on A short, we don't know where's the rest of the enemy team. Like, look what your teammates are looking at. Like, whenever I finish the fight with the enemies, and I make numbers advantage, I'm always observing, is there some kind of a gap in my team through which enemies can surprise us and fuck us up? Like, right now, if my Yoru and Phoenix are already playing on a reefer potential, right here, my job is to watch the showers. And if they start dying on short, I will instantly support them and try to play with them.
Cover going out.
I don't know, like leaving the showers there open, very bad. I never trust the enemies that someone is AFK, like, fuck it. Okay, good follow-up on the chamber.
Hey, last
Okay, okay, not too shabby. Surprisingly good round, very good round, like, solid decision making. It can be a bit faster. You should observe a bit more possibilities during a match, but it's okay. You know, I have nothing to really complain about. Now, if you win the first round of Bind on A side, always play the second round on the B side, always. And what I will usually buy, I'll buy Outlaw with a light shield or Outlaw with a heavy shield if I have money to afford the heavy shield. And rest of the money I'm going to invest in utility. And I'm just going to hold this angle. I can hold this angle all the way like this and still be able to hit the enemies. You've seen this on my streams quite a lot of times. You can hold it as much as your reaction time allows you. When you're holding the tight pixel angles, you're always aiming towards the furthest position to which enemies are peeking. So if the enemies are peeking from right to left, you're aiming here. And you're placing your eyes towards the right side. You know, towards the enemy's peak. This wall here is curved like this. So where do we place our eyes? We place our eyes down here. Because the first thing that you see from the enemies is their legs. So as soon as you see the yellow color, bam, bam, you're ready to react. You're ready to micro-correct yourself and kill the enemies. Why do we place our crosshair all the way to the left wall? So if the enemies are going for the fast swing, I'm still able to catch their movement if they're going for that fast swing on this position. Outlaw is really good anti-eco weapon for this map, especially Outlaw with
potato aim, but I have
Outlaw with shorty combination is really fucking good, man. Okay, we're following top to bottom rule. Now the chat is probably asking, Charlatan, what is the top to bottom rule? But that's why you get coaching from me.
okay.
Discord server. Good repositioning. There was no reason to take that fight. This paranoia here was a pure waste, man. You know, before you decide to engage enemies with a paranoia and you don't know if the enemies are there, jump spot the enemies. Like, I can already tell that jump spot mechanic doesn't exist in your gameplay. Like, bro, you don't know if the enemies are pushing it. Bam. After 3-4 seconds, bam. Bam. Aha! Enemies are close. Bam. Let's do this. Let's follow them up. This is waste of utility, like. Once again. Ooh, very good shot. Okay.
Okay, I see.
Absolutely unnecessary aggression. Listen, guys, when you're playing anti-eco rounds, your primary focus is staying alive, compensating the mistakes of your teammates, clutching that round yourself, and you are not trusting your allies at all. If you already take a kill in an anti-eco round, it is better to tuck in and just play with your allies. Like, make sure that you're able to, that you're refraggable. Make sure that you save this weapon for a bonus round and that you're building a good economy for yourself and your team. This is unnecessary. Okay, we can rotate, definitely. The Charlatan give away free VOD reviews like Wukujin. Yes, like on every 50 new Twitch subs, you can join a VOD review giveaway on my Discord server and you can get a VOD review.
Oh, oh.
Oi, 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 oi. Okay. 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 This round, there is really nothing better you could have done. There is no way that I also would have expected that raise in the smoke. But why didn't you play B-side? Think about it. Think about it. Like, essentially, already from the round 2, we can start applying within our gameplay the AB rule and the rule of fear. Like, these two rules will not tell you 100% of times where enemies are gonna go, but these are the two most common patterns that you're gonna see within your games in Valorant. So if you completely stomp the enemy's push on A site in the first round, so you destroy the enemies here, B site is our default site. Number 1. Number 2, we can apply the AB rule. We can expect the enemies to every single round do something completely different from what we saw in the previous round. Second thing, working in our favor. Third thing that is working in our favor, and that is actually working for this gamble, is rule of fear. Definition of rule of fear is enemies in ranked solo queue are usually afraid to repeat their mistakes from the previous rounds, and that's why in the next round you can expect enemies to do something completely different if you already stomped the enemy's push. So basically, if you completely fuck up the enemies on the A side in the first round, the best gamble is to go onto the B side. Like, there's 80% of chances that enemies will end on B side. So pay attention how you position yourself in the first 4 rounds. It is really fucking important. We actually won this round. Okay, we got a bulldog back. Oh, this angle, I don't know. It can work, you know, but usually the best moment of time to play this angle and the best idea to hold an angle like this is if you're playing a double tower strategy with one of your teammates. You know, one of your teammates is on top of the truck here, like this, like all the way down here to the white line, like this, and you're playing here. This double tower strategy is really fucking good. And if you already want to hold this, tell your Phoenix to updraft on top of the truck and to help you out. Of course, Phoenix doesn't have the updraft, but what we have in a game of Valorant is a boosting technique. So basically, you know, Phoenix can spam the jump instead of this corner. You crouch underneath the Phoenix, Phoenix gets boosted, play double tower. Or tell the Phoenix to hold this angle, you teleport here and play double tower. But holding this angle alone with a light shield and bulldog, I don't know. And this early on in the match, I think it's way too much of a gamble. Because if the enemies are swinging from the left side, like, they can destroy you. The player should have a proper crosshair placement for this position, I don't know.
Cover going. No charges.
Okay.
Chamber in
I
left.
don't know. Like, your repositioning here could have been a lot better. Like, I don't like this repositioning from you. Like, you have no, like, okay, you abused one angle to potentially try to get a kill. Good. But why don't we, after we abuse that angle, go up here? You know? From this position, we do a default smoke for the to stop the enemy's push on A short. And now, when the enemies are pushing into sight from this position, we fight the enemies together with our teammates. Like, I generally don't see players pre-aiming this spot, sometimes even in Radiant lobbies. And from this spot, you can watch the showers, you know, or tell one of your teammates to watch the showers from the backside. And from this spot, you're just shitting on the enemies. The more off angles you abuse in the lobbies below, like Immortal 3, the more success you're gonna find. Simple as that.
Cover going. No charges.
Chamber in lamps.
Ooh,
Oh, I
and
agree,
this
sorry.
swing here, like, was way too wide, man. This was way too wide swing. Like, you know, when I'm taking a fight with the enemies, before I take a fight, I always check my minimap to see where are the enemies and how can I isolate enemies into 1v1 gunfights. You know? Like, for an example, if on the minimap, I see that the sky is here, chamber is here, I'm not gonna go for the wide swing. If I go for the wide swing, I need to do some crazy, you know, 2 burst fires to kill those enemies. If I saw, like, before every single fight, I always check the minimap. Quick peek, you know, on the minimap. If you already have the info about the enemies. Aha, I saw the sky here, I saw the chamber there. Let me jiggle peek the sky and try to kill her there, and then we can go for the wider swing for the chamber and delete the chamber. Pay attention to the minimap. Think about it.
Fuck,
On my Discord server, I have explained every single time when you should check the minimap in Valorant. And you can find that explanation in the Ask the Coach, and just search for the forum called Minimap Blindness. There, I've completely explained, like, when and when you should take a sneak peek into minimap.
better.
Okay, so in the first round, enemies pushed the... Yo, Traxit, thank you for the tier 1 sub, man. Thank you, bro. So in the first round, enemies pushed like A site, second round B, third round A. In the fourth round, right now we're obviously playing the A site. Oh, this positioning is fucking stupid, oh man. Listen, in a game of Valorant, remember one rule. The more angles you abuse to fight the enemies, the higher is the chance that you're potentially gonna get some kind of a kill. So essentially, there is not a single map in Valorant, not a single scenario in Valorant, where I will start this passively. Like, literally, this position here is my dead last position that I'm gonna play. No matter if the enemies are eco hull by, like, I cannot sell to the enemies all of this map control here and this map control here for free. We need to do something. You know, like, as our starting position, we can take, for an example, a tight pixel angle here and abuse this spot for one singular burst fire. You know, we see the enemies there, burst fire, try to kill one enemy. Then we can abuse this off angle with a drop position here for another burst fire. Then from this spot, we can reposition on this off angle, maybe use the, you know, one-way smokes to outplay the enemies and fuck them up as they're going out. Like, we have the one-way here, one-way there. And enemies are dropping down, ba-ba-ba, ba-ba-ba. Then we can abuse this angle holding technique that I don't have time to explain right now, but sometimes it's okay. Actually, in one of the VOD reviews, I explained why holding the angles like this is okay sometimes. We can go for another burst fire, and that's it. Enemies are pushing in. Paranoia, kill them. They smoke you. Flash out, kill the enemies. And only then, I'm gonna be contesting. You know, this is maybe your I don't know, second, third, fourth position that you play on the B side. You cannot play this passively, man. No. Like, why do we need to apply aggression onto the enemies? Here and here. To waste the maximum amount of utility from the enemies, so they have less utility to execute the B side, and also to potentially get some kills, or to apply some damage onto the enemies that we can use later on to delete the enemies. It's an all position, man. Not even with the operator. Like, I'm not gonna start this passively, bro. Look at this. Like, what we could have done here, you know. So, Sky is dogging A short. We can destroy the dog, flash the enemies, do a one-way smoke here, bam. Full hookah control. Now enemies need to peek through this smoke or do another flash, do a flash to push out. We can easily reposition into the site, use a smoke here, and then get onto this spot. So enemies wasted potentially a boombot, dog, a few flashes to just take a hookah control. Now, defending the B side is far easier for us. Much easier for us. Okay, listen. When we're playing on the bind, on the B side, whenever you have one teammate fighting for one of these positions, you should never play passively on the bomb site. Always fight for that specific position with your teammate. Fuck it. Sell the site at the end of the day. So if my Yoru is in the elbow, I'm fighting for the garden and be long with Yoru. This is not elbow, this is be long, whatever. If my Yoru is in the hookah, I'm fighting with my Yoru in the hookah. And I'm leaving the garden and site open. Like, it is... The most stupid shit that you can do on the B set of bind is, let's say one of your teammates is here, and you're holding the window. Push. Or you're playing like... you're fully selling that teammate. Fight for one area of the map, especially if you have one teammate on the site. Support, always support your most aggressive teammate that has the highest chances of dying at every moment of time. And that is doing something useful for you. Like right now, Yoru is our most useful ally. If we are able to completely fuck up the enemy's push through garden and be long, it's gonna be really hard for the enemies to execute the site through the window. Oh, here, like, your decision making was not good, man. Like, you heard the Sky using a flash in the B long. Bro, after that smoke, instant paranoia, create an opportunity for your teammate. You know? Like, that's why your KST is shit. You're not trading your allies, you're not supporting them. Fuck the window. I don't know, I would have fully sold my KO and B side just to keep the full garden control, make my Yoru stay alive, and kill 1, 2, 3 enemies in the B long. And then we can fight for the site and for the hookah. Ooh, that was unlucky. Bro, like, map awareness, 0 points. Like, general game awareness, 0 points. Like, after every single kill, after every single fight, every shit that you see on the minimap. Quick sneak peek onto minimap. Like, if I kill the chamber, Raze is dead, Yoru died, like, 50% of times during your gameplay, your eyes are on the minimap. 50% of time. What the fuck, bro? And if you have the Omen paranoia, never engage the enemies in a clean fights, flash the enemies, take the position, that's it. I don't think the average ranked player thinks this much while playing a game. I mean, if you don't want to think that much, go play Counter-Strike. You know.
No, she's not going long.
you'll have better chances of reaching Face It level 10 and Global Elite.
Careful now.
30 seconds left.
You know what you need
I'm
to
gonna
become
have to try.
better with? Like, definitely need to, like, your minimum awareness is 0, man. Like, you need to become better with one specific topic. Like, deciding what to hold and what to play based on what your teammates are playing. Like, that should be one of the skill sets and one of the things that you can focus on in the next 3 weeks. Like, on a defender side, you don't really have a good idea with who should you play and what you should hold at every single moment of time. Like, what you hold and with which teammate you play completely depends what the fuck your teammates are doing, you know.
She might die if we.
Stealing sight.
Okay.
She TP back.
Okay. I don't know what we're waiting for here. Like, just rotate, bro. Our Phoenix is gonna die.
Oh my god. Here, hurry up, hurry up.
Spike planted.
Jesus Christ.
Defuse the spike.
Q try. You can get your ult.
Okay, now we can continue the VOD review. Holy shit, man.
Jesus Christ. My. AB.
Okay, very good, very good. He's thinking about it. He said right now. He is following the ABAB rule and rule of fear. Yes, in this round, there is like 70 to 80% of chances that enemies are gonna like push the A side. So a game decision to play A is good. But I don't know why, you know, why are you not... There's so many good strategies that you can abuse with Omen to stop the enemy's push and fuck them up on A side. You know, top of the truck, you can play in 4 different ways. In one of the rounds, you can just hide all the way up here, wait for the enemies to initiate the push, and when the enemies are close to the choke point, surprise them, bam, drop down. Then you can use this angle to fuck them up. Second thing that you can do, you can immediately hold the truck, go for a burst fire, drop down. Third thing that you can do, when you have op and long range weapons, if the enemies are peeking from the bench, we can kill them there. Or what we can do is when the enemies are pushing A short, we can surprise them with a jump peek on the truck, basically, and just try to kill the enemy, drop down. Then, this off angle is really good once you enemies waste, you know, recon abilities and flashes. This spot right here is really good if you play with a one-way smoke up here and a one-way smoke... I fucked it up, whatever. Like, there is a one-way smoke there and here. Like, basically, what you can do a one-way there, and you can just hold the left side. And then from this position, kill the enemies on the left side, drop down, and enemies from the right side cannot kill you. Muy bien strategy. Muy bien. Then, you know, like, in some of the rounds, you can play A short and then jump spot the enemies and, you know, just do a paranoia flash and peek them, kill them. You can start in the, I don't know, you know, but I mean, those are all of the positions. We can play a bit aggro with the TPs and stuff, like, depending with our teammates, and play some double tower strategies, like.
Cover going out.
Okay, bro, we really rotated. Okay, this would be a bit bad right now. You know, like, if you didn't have the Omen ultimate. But since you have the Omen ultimate, this is okay. Absolutely fine. You know, that we only have the Phoenix at the B side, jump spotting the enemies. When you have the Omen ultimate, you can definitely gamble a bit more, but I would not gamble if the enemies are eco and halbei. Now, your Yoru is making El Retardimus play in this round, because enemies have a low economy and, you know, there's no reason for that play. What is a really good idea right now is also to use the ultimate to scout the enemies here, apply the pressure onto the enemies, and potentially allow your Yoru to take an easy kill.
I'm out.
Since he's fully stuck in the teleport, or we can help our Yoru. But enemies can be close to us showers, man.
Cover going out.
Behind you.
Blinding.
I don't know. Like you need to be more aware of, you know, what your teammates are holding for you, where the enemies can be. You really need to, for the next 3 weeks, to primarily ask yourself, what are my teammates watching? Where the enemies can all be, so I can position myself a bit better. Like, bro, one enemy can still be in the behind you and kill you. And if the enemies are already pushing A site, you know, like, if you didn't play this position at all, just play up there, man, and, you know, take an easy kill, fuck up the enemies. You can even play here, and when the enemies are pushing into the lamps, try to pick them and surprise them. You don't need to be this boring. Very good tracking, love the kill. Very good kill.
My aim is back. Oh, I'm scared. Oh, scare me. I didn't have the Phoenix.
It would be.
Shadows traveling.
Okay.
Spike planted. One enemy remaining.
Okay.
Good defense, good defense.
I mean, listen, man, like, your game decision here to stay on the A set was obviously good. Because our kill died from the short, there was a huge chance that enemies are gonna stay on A. Plant the spike on A. But man, if enemies are 2 versus 4, you hear one enemy running into the site, you need to expect that that enemy is gonna go for some kind of a fast plant. Like, I don't know what you were doing here. If I heard one enemy running into the bomb site, I would immediately get ready to kill that enemy as he's going for the spike plant. Because enemies heard you rotating. Killjoy did the teleport here. And they probably think the site is free. And that your backside or tower or CT. Kill that enemy. Focus on the rest of the enemy team. And also, when you were going for that sky kill, I don't really like how you needed to smoke this
Cover going
and then go for the sky kill. Because one more enemy could have been here. You needed to make a cover for yourself. Charlatan, are you gonna showcase the aim training routine that you're doing right now? Yes. Once I complete 4 weeks of my aim training, I'm gonna share with you everything. How much I improved, what type of improvements I've seen, how effective this same training routine was, and I will share everything. Every bit of it.
He's good defense.
Oh, diffuse.
Bro, defense, bro.
Okay. This was fine.
You on the hook. That's him.
Now, once again, my G. Once again. A, B, rule of fear. Chances are really high that enemies are gonna go B. Let's play A. Let's play B, sorry. You're starting way too passively, man. Way too passively on the B side. You need to do something, man. You know, like another thing that we can do. So, we think we have a really good information that enemies are gonna push B in this round because of enemies' overall pattern of pushing. Our teammate is picking B long. We can play with our teammate. What we can do is at the start of the round, we can do this one-way smoke in the hookah that is gonna make the enemies waste utility and make presence in the hookah. The enemies are gonna waste at least a skydog, flash, some shit. Then we can teleport here. Wait for our teammate to peek. Maybe bait the shit off our teammate. Flash the enemies. Take 2 easy kills. Fake teleport. Maybe kill 1 more enemy. Then rotate through the smoke. Slowly. And that's it. Like, you're starting way too passively on a defender's side. Like, if your teammates are already aggro, you should either be... You need to be more aggro. You need to be more aggro. And also, one more tip. Whenever you notice that enemies are using a recon utility to clear the hookah, Sova is using a drone from here, Sky is using the dog, one of the best fucking strategies is doing a fake one-way smoke like this, getting around the circle here, waiting for that guy to come into the circle to use utility, or when he uses utility here, just kill him, and then you can just jump around the smoke and escape with a kill in the pocket. Or maybe we can go for another play if you think that you can actually outplay the enemies. But usually the best idea is to take the kill and try to get the fuck out throughout the smoke.
All B, all B.
I've got your trail.
Also, this game decision to get off from the site is really bad. Why? Our teammates are fighting for the site. You know, if our teammates are fighting, what are you doing in the CT? You're gonna get smoked. Enemies are gonna cut you off. Now Phoenix is gonna die. Behind you. Behind you. Oh, yeah. Okay, this was a bit of the aim diff, like, literally, you know. This is why aim training is actually important. These were such an easy 2 kills for you. You should have killed that Sky, then killed the race behind you, like, this is just the aim diff, man.
Oh, I was you.
You want to play? Let's play.
Placing swamp.
You want to play? Let's play.
Listen, when you're holding angles in Valorant, you don't really want to hold them this close with a crosshair. You know, like, basically, your crosshair should be ready for both swing and jiggle pick as well. If you already don't have a good idea how enemies love to push that area of the map. Like, if I'm holding this spot, my crosshair is somewhere here. It's not gonna be like this. You know? Like, the only time when I have my crosshair really tight to the wall is when enemies are always going for the jiggle pick, or if I notice that enemies are jump spotting an angle and I try to catch them in the air as they're jump spotting. But you also always need to decide what type of a crosshair placement you want to have based on information that you have, like how enemies usually peek a specific angle. In the previous rounds, we actually saw that enemies just swing in this position. They kind of peek it like this. Jet did it, Chamber did it, and now Astra did it as well. If the enemies are already swinging like monkeys, my crosshair needs to be like this. Ready for the bench swing and just doing micro correction down.
Placing swamp.
Cover going out. Stealing sight.
Okay. By the way, his game decision to play A-set in this round is obviously good. The chances are the highest that enemies are gonna push A. I really don't want to repeat myself anymore. AB rule, rule of fear. If you apply AB rule and rule of fear within your gameplay, but you apply it in a smart way, you can literally read the enemies like 60 to 80% of the time, sometimes.
Cover going out.
It's not always gonna work, but, you know.
Time to jump.
The hell, he really TP'd.
I don't know. Listen, man. If you don't have a good information that enemies rotated, and enemies are gonna hit the opposite part of the map, and you have the Omen ultimate available, anchor your position until you have 100% confirmation that enemies are hitting some bomb site, especially on Bind. Bind is essentially a slow rotation map on a defender's side. So what does that mean? We need to anchor the bomb sites for a bit longer period of time when we are 100% certain that enemies are hitting something. And then we can make some kind of a game decision. And that's another reason why Omen is really good on Bind. Like, when you have the Omen ultimate, you know, you can chill on A site until your teammates make some kind of a contact with enemies on B. You can still support them with your smokes, you know, utility. But here, I wouldn't rotate this fast. I would rotate if one of my teammates die or we see like the spike there, or enemies are committing to the push, like
I'm gonna die.
we left the A short way too fast. You see,
Got a Q.
even now I wouldn't rotate. Why? My teammates actually stopped the enemy's push. My killjoy is alone on the A side. If one of my teammates start dying on B, I can use my teleport for the fast rotation or to fake the enemies. You know. But still, there's no reason to rotate. Still no reason to rotate. Still no reason to rotate. Still no reason to rotate.
Got flash, I think.
Still no reason to rotate. Think about it. Your rotations should be on bind really slow, methodical, and based on a certain factors that you observe. You know, like, is the spike there? How many enemies are there? What is the usual playstyle of the enemies? How enemies love to push? Do they love to fake and rotate? How good are my teammates on the opposite part of the map? I mean, if my teammates are just shitting on the enemies and stopping their push, I'm not gonna rotate immediately. But if my teammates start dying and losing some crucial positions on that area of the map, then I'm gonna rotate. Like, for example, you know, you're playing Lotus. Lotus is also a slow rotation map. On Lotus, if the enemies have a control of this and control of this, I don't give a fuck about the C control. You know, I'm gonna sell the C side, and I'm instantly gonna rotate to help my teammates here and here, or take more space behind the enemies and try to fuck them up.
Enemy spotted A.
Oh my god.
Planted.
Bro!
Okay. Okay,
Bro,
okay.
Yo, that was I got Euro.
Okay, okay, okay. Okay, playing B is good, but either man, on B side you're
Yeah,
mega passive, man. Like, on B side you have so many fucking good strategies to, you know, stop the enemy's push, to outplay the enemies. Like, we have this one-way smoke that we can use to delay the enemy's push, fuck them up. We have a fake one-way to outplay the enemies, kill the enemy recon player, and then get the fuck out. We can hold, like, you know, tight angles and try to fuck up the enemies. On B long, we have a one-way smoke up here to completely stop the enemy's push and enemy's peek and just destroy the enemies, you know. We can play all the way here, ba 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 ba. Enemies don't see your legs at all on that position. We can use a deep smoke, you know, hold the B long and try to waste some kind of a utility from enemies. Like, you need to waste some kind of a utility from enemies before they go for a execute, brother. You know? Okay. Finally something. Okay.
Cover going out.
Okay, okay, okay.
Shadows traveling.
Okay.
Yep. I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm trapped. I trapped. Once. Chamber is B. Fuck.
Listen. This was a really good moment of time to use a fake teleport. You know, especially in the elo between Iron and Immortal 1. Fake teleports are your bread and butter with Omen. Like here, if I was in Platinum lobby and enemy Sky Dog revealed me, destroy the Sky Dog, do this. There is no fucking way that enemies are gonna clear you in this position. And no fucking way. And one thing that you need to what should you mainly focus on in the following 4 weeks? Number one, better positioning and decision making on defenders side. Number 2, utilizing is this how you write it? Utilizing fake teleports a bit more. Number 3, fixing paranoia vertical usage. Like when you're using paranoia, like a lot of times you drop it like however the fuck you want. Like you just drop it in the ground, in the air, like you need to pay more attention on verticality of using this flashman.
Looking for.
Let me see. Actually, let me actually see the run. I didn't even check it.
Fuck.
Okay, I mean, he did the best he could have in that example, to be honest.
I have a drop. You didn't. Or maybe I should have stick to the Q try. I shouldn't be there. Could be there as well.
Cover going out.
Ooh. Listen, another thing that a good Omen player should do for his teammates, a good controller player, is the place. Like, ask yourself when you're doing the smokes, can I do some kind of a smoke that is gonna help my teammates survive or get some easy kills? You know, when your teammates are going for some place that you would go for with a close range weapon, shotguns, operator, ask yourself, how can you support that teammate? I mean, if my ally, you know, like Yoru in this example, is playing here with a shotgun, you don't want to give that Yoru a default smoke, you know?
My ultimate is ready.
Like, this default smoke is only gonna fuck up that Yoru.
Shadows traveling.
But what you want to do is you want to do a bit more shallow smoke towards the Yoru, so that Yoru can play inside of it and potentially outplay the enemies with that close range weapon. Like, observe a bit more, like, you know, for what type of plays your teammates are doing, and always base your utility usage based on your teammates, like, based on what type of a play your teammates are going for, essentially.
Oh my god. No, I'm not fighting that.
Cover going out. Stealing sight.
I don't know, man. Like, here you kind of pussed it out. Like, if I did this paranoia that you did, I would have actually peeked the enemies and fought the enemies. I don't know. My dude pussed it out here. You cannot pussy out in this type of scenarios. Like, we are 4v5. Our cave is in a rotation. We cannot hide in the showers. Especially after this paranoia. You should have applied some kind of a pressure onto enemies here. Jump spot the enemies. Okay, don't jump spot at all.
One enemy remaining.
You need to start jump spotting a bit more to get info about the enemies. Like, you know, just peeking out with crosshair placement for Jesus Christ is not really good, you know. Like, in a game of Valorant, you primarily want to rely on your crosshair placement, utility usage, proper positioning, and proper movement to get the kills. And you want to put the least amount of effort in flicking, tracking, and raw mechanical skill.
Oh my god.
And once again, you definitely need to utilize fake teleports, like in this 1v1 scenario. I mean 2v1 scenario. If you use a fake teleport towards the bomb site, and you just held. So basically here, Astra is here. Your Killjoy is backside. You just do this. Fuck it, you don't need to show yourself. Just use a teleport and hold this off angle. I highly doubt a Platinum player is gonna check you there. But he used that TP.
Watch them run.
Apply the pressure, apply the pressure, apply the pressure.
She's planting.
Here, even though you're low HP, you should be applying some pressure on the Death Astra so that you're keeping your location a secret and you're allowing the Killjoy to have more time to rotate. Like for an example here, you need to think a bit more tri-dimensional with Omen. You know, Astra is planting the spike there. Use a smoke here.
Going out.
Use a teleport like this. Go play with Astra. Go play with Killjoy. Astra is probably gonna push you either elbow or CT. She's never gonna expect you here. Easy kill. Because she needs to isolate one versus one fights. You see, like she needs to isolate this 1v1 fight in order to win this round. It was so obvious that she's gonna push like CT.
30 seconds left.
Just ask yourself, when you're in a numbers disadvantage, you know, when you're in a clutch scenario like 1 versus 1, 1 versus 2, 1 versus 3, 1 versus 4, like before planting the spike, before like, you know, doing anything, like your primary focus is isolating the gunfights into 1 versus 1s. But she's gonna rotate A, there's no way she... And here also, you could have played smarter. You know, once the Astra planted the spike, I would have actually used a fake teleport through the... for the showers, and I would have rotated fast through the CT. To once again, keep my location a secret.
You haven't. Can I try here?
Essentially, you know, what you also need to focus on, keep enemies guessing. Keep your location a secret. Like, you need to be a bit more four-dimensional Omen player. You know?
I want to try here.
Once again, this is never the position that you instantly play. This is the position that you play as a second, third, fourth, fifth position.
With the dog.
What the fuck was that, bro? Listen, if the enemies are already pushing through the hookah and you're playing this spot, the best setup for you is this and this.
Shadows traveling.
With this small setup, you're guaranteed at least like 2 kills, essentially. If these 2 smokes are not gonna fuck your teammates in some kind of a way, do them. Like, do them. Or if you cannot trust your teammates with defending the site, you know, you think that your teammates are not valuable at all, do it. Fuck up the enemies yourself as they're pushing out easy kills. Yo. Okay, Jet is elbow.
One enemy remaining.
Jet and elbow.
Spike down B.
Okay, good. Listen, whenever you're hiding on the truck, so you want to hide on the truck and peek the enemies and surprise them. Always hug the wall, place your crosshair towards the ground, 90 degree, and you can go all the way down to the end of this white line here. And then from this position, you wait for the enemies to push and surprise them. If you don't want the enemies to see, you know, the tip of your outlaw, the tip of your operator, the tip of your gun, you using a smoke, etc., etc.
Oh.
Cover going out.
Oh. Oh fuck.
Shadows traveling.
Oh. Okay.
My ultimate is not ready.
Okay, we can rotate here.
Shit. I fucked up. I fucked up. No.
These are the guys you're losing against? I mean, we're winning still.
I'm not fighting that. Oh, she killed herself. She killed herself. I'm dumb. I'm tripping.
Spike
Where'd you go?
planted.
We can play 3v2.
Okay, but enemies can push CT now.
Push up.
I mean, like, listen, like, you know, if your killjoy does the ultimate here, ask yourself, what are all of the possibilities that enemies have? Like right now, enemies are either gonna go all the way here, all the way here, all the way here, or they're gonna push you. If my killjoy and Phoenix are already watching this, we need to watch this, bro. You know, not only because enemies might destroy the killjoy's ultimate, but if the enemies go all the way here, we might get fucked for not having that information. Information is your #1 priority in a game of Valorant. The more you know, the easier is the round.
Enemy remaining.
Maybe last squad.
Area's clear.
Bro, that Astra is CT.
Fuck.
Maybe, I don't know.
Shadows traveling.
Yeah, she went CT. Ah, that team. You see? That's why information is crucial in Valorant. Like, you always need to think in clutch scenarios about all of the possibilities. Where the enemies can potentially be, what are the highest chances for something happening. These type of rounds you should never lose. Map, check the minimap. Ask yourself, you know, what can you all expect from the enemies? But also, in this round, like, we made one very stupid mistake as well. Listen, whenever, so let me write this down. Whenever you are in a numbers advantage or numbers are equal, always place one of your smokes for the spike for the safe defuse. Whenever you are in a numbers disadvantage or economy disadvantage, place the smokes, place the default smokes and try to pressure the enemies through them. Like, essentially, if I'm in the numbers disadvantage advantage, sorry, like here, like I'm a 2v1, spike is planted here, my killjoy is defusing the spike. It is much better to place the smoke on that guy so that enemy needs to pick something and spam the smoke instead of just gambling and smoking one choke point and then, you know, our killjoy can die from here, she can die through the CT, she can die through the spam, etc, etc. Like, it is always better to place your smoke on the spike when you're in a numbers advantage, economy advantage, or numbers are equal, rather than placing the smoke for the choke point.
Oh my god.
I am everywhere.
I really don't know, like, your positioning on the defender side is way too passive, brother. We need more aggression, man. More aggressione. Like, we cannot let the enemies have the full garden control, long control, hookah control, and just
Cover going out.
burst out.
B. Watch B.
They're gonna destroy us here with utility, man. Destroy us.
Bro, the Euro's really gonna gamble on it.
Spike down B.
Jump spot peek. Jump spot peek.
Yep.
Watch your eyes!
Oof.
I'm so bad!
Your main problem, like, I mean, even though like your mechanics are not the best, but literally these mechanics are, you know, in my coaching sessions I've seen like some ascendant players that are aiming like this, and low immortal players, trust me, like there's various different shits I've seen. Like, but you're, I don't know, man, like on the B set you have a huge problem with how passive you play. Like, generally speaking, you know, like, this passive you maybe want to play if the enemies are playing some kind of an eco round, you know, their economy is shit. But even then, you need to apply some pressure onto enemies in B long and B hookah. I mean, only if I'm left alone, you know, if I'm the only guy playing B side, yeah, I need to tuck myself in. If we are already playing retake, you know, I need to jump spot this, get the info for my team in the long, in the hookah, and do this. But starting the round like this, Jesus Christ, man. Come on.
I'm terrible.
Come on.
Pet.
Okay. On attacker side of bind, in the first round, you're asking
shit.
yourself a few questions, and that's how we decide what we want to push. So, B side is still our default site, but how do we decide what we want to push in the first round? You don't have the Sage in your team. Enemies don't have a single Sentinel. So enemies don't have a Sage, Deadlock, Cypher, Killjoy. So you don't have this. Enemies don't have this. 5-man push onto B site. Send it B. Essentially. Because planting the spike on A site is really hard in the first round and it's just stupid to gamble it. You can buy a classic light shoot, 2 smokes, 2 shrouded steps. You can buy a ghost, 1 shrouded step, 2 smokes. Your job is to do go through long, clear this area of the map properly, 1-way smoke up here, on top of the doorway there, do a mid-air smoke that looks like this on the minimap, pay attention, it should look like this, teleport into that smoke, from this position, surprise the enemies, kill them. Or you can drop down if you have a classic pistol, take the elbow control, and from this position, contest the enemies. Now, you do have a Sage. Enemies don't have a you do have a Sage in team. Period. Like, you have a Sage in the team. 5-man push onto the A side through A short. Tell the Sage to wall this. Just fight for the A short and lamps, and that's it. Where's the fucking Sage? So, tell the Sage to do this wall. You're doing a smoke on site, like this. Smoke on top of the truck, like this. You're using a fake teleport into the hookah on top of the truck, taking the lamp's control from behind, killing the enemies. Here, planting the spike. I don't know if there's any other possibilities, so I mean, that's basically it, like, you know. So in this match, you don't have a Sage, enemies don't have a hardcore Sentinel. The best idea is to push the B side in the first round.
Dog shit.
And if you're already pushing A side in the first round, always, especially if all of your teammates are only going through A short, always do this smoke in combination with this smoke here, like this. Push this area of the map with your allies. Do this teleport. Drop down immediately. Kill the enemy in the lamps. Kill the enemy on the site. Try to plant the spike here, or don't plant the spike, wait for the smoke to disappear, and then fight the rest of the enemies. In the first round with Omen. In the first round, on attacker's side, in every single elo below high immortal 3, you're always going for some kind of an aggressive outplay with Omen. Essentially, you're not trusting your teammates to take the space control, site control, etc, because you don't know with what type of monkeys you're playing. This smoke setup, I've never seen it in my life. That's such a bad smoke setup, man.
Wait.
Bro, like, I don't know what to tell you, man. Like, listen. In the first round, you need to lead your teammates in. And that's why you should be positioning the smokes and utility not only for your allies, but also for yourself. And you need to lead the charge. I mean, here, if the enemies... So basically, what happened in this round? Enemies delayed their push with this smoke and nade. As soon as the nade disappeared, and I have some kind of a smoke like this, and like I don't know what the fuck was this smoke setup. It's stupid. I would instantly run forward from this smoke, perform this teleport, get the lamps control, kill the guy in the lamps, and lead my teammates in. The first round should always be a fast, five-man aggressive push towards one specific objective, and you need to give the confidence for your allies to push in. Let them deal with this lurk and flank. This tactician, like, no problem, man.
Wait. Okay.
Shadows traveling.
Last player standing. Spike down A.
Okay, let's make a deal. From now on, your teammates say, hey guys, let's push A site in the first round fast as 5. You're doing this smoke, in combination with this smoke, pushing the enemies fast. Enemy smoke here, no problem. Go from the smoke, teleport up there, fuck the enemies in the lamps. Always. Is there a single moment of time where you didn't see me do this play? And you didn't see this play work in the first round? Like, this play doesn't work in the first round maybe like 20% of times. And those 20% of times are like in Radiant lobbies.
Bro.
Now listen. The best advice I can give you is like when you're playing an eco round, half by round on bind, and it is the start of the match. The best idea is to do a 5-man push through A short, once again with this smoke setup, and with some kind of an outplay. Because the easiest kills that you can get on this map are here and here in eco rounds. Whenever enemies are eco or half by on a defender side, or they're playing a bonus round, you always want to tell your teammates to do a 5-man aggressive push through the B long. You're smoking hookah, one-way smoke city, flash the enemies into elbow, take the elbow control, bomb site control, and that's it. Like, your economy and enemy's economy dictate what you want to push and where you want to go and how you want to push.
Why my bang goes? Hello, am I what stick? Oops.
In this round, I would just force a shorty with maybe a paranoia and try to, like, kill the enemies in the left. Bro, this smoke setup doesn't exist. I don't know where the fuck did you see this smoke setup. And what the fuck is this? Especially in an eco half by round. Bro. Like... Okay, like, you know, this smoke setup is a good setup when we are splitting A site through A short and baths. This is a good setup. This setup here is good for the first round when you have Sage in the team and we're playing eco and half by rounds. And when no one is showers, essentially. You can also do some kind of a setup like this. If you want to have more control and more room to play around the A site and to plan the spike. But this doesn't exist. Like this is stupid to do. Oh, no. Ooh.
Oh my god, what the fuck?
Listen, you know, this second teleport that you did here, you know, when you teleport up in this position, there's a lot of different things that you can do. Definitely, you know, like, you can teleport here sometimes. Sometimes I love to teleport onto tower and try to fuck up the enemies from this position. We can use a fake teleport and make the enemies think that we went somewhere and then drop down and kill the enemies. We can teleport on this spot, and from this position kill the enemies at the backside. But if you already know that one enemy is lamps or close to you, the best idea is to just drop down and kill that enemy, you know.
The deep.
Okay. Okay. Solid round. Good round. We actually won it. Okay, so in the next round, enemies are Eco and Halby. On Bind, whenever enemies are Eco and Halby, we are pushing 5-man B long. No, Killjoy, you don't need to lurk through the hookah and die from the shorty and Bucky. No, Cypher, we don't need hookah control. We're gonna deal with the hookah later. I don't want you to die because of the Raisinade and getting pinched in that fucking suicide position. Like, you will never see me when the enemies are playing an Eco Halberd bonus round. Here, nor here. I don't give a shit about this. I'm only focused on taking the main areas of the map, taking the bomb sites, and that's it. These are the rounds when you need to tell your teammates what to do. And where I need to see communication from you. No, Yoru.
Okay. Thank you.
I'll watch the flank, man. What flank? We don't need to watch the flank. We just need to push fast.
Cover going out.
Okay, we know Sky is A.
Shadows traveling.
Oh, they follow.
Please pay attention from which positions you're doing your smokes. Like here, you were fully exposed from the site. We could have died like a potato, you know.
Shadows traveling.
Oh, they follow him. You do too fast, you.
Oh, she's in the smoke, man.
But I bet
We need to
it's a
clear.
shot inside.
No, not that smoke. She's in the smoke on the right.
That's a shotty.
Bro, listen, like, when you see this type of a smoke in front of yourself, that's another information that you should give to your teammates. Whenever you see some kind of a fast smoke, or a smoke that is out of ordinary, enemies in that smoke, there's 80% of chance.
Shadows traveling.
Come to your teammates. You're playing you're a controller main. What do we usually do with this smoke? We fuck up the enemies with the close range weapons. You know? Like this smoke, this is not a default smoke to stop the enemy's push. Like, tell your teammates, hey guys, Astra is probably in there in that smoke with a fucking Judge and Bucky. Wait for the smoke to disappear, or let's flash in and fuck up that Astra before she fucks us up.
Shadows traveling.
Oh, they follow him. You do too fast, you.
One suppressed. Stealing sight.
But I bet there's a shotty inside. I'm scared there's a shotty. Bro.
Spike
Oh my
down
god.
B.
Aye.
Oh my god. Oh, wait.
Okay, we know that all of three enemies are B site. We need two ultimate points for the ultimate. Pick up the orb here. Pick up the orb in the showers. Pick up the spike from the B site, and plant the spike on the A site. Done. Like, this mechanic and how many ultimate points you need for the ultimate. On the attacker side, you should track 24/7. 24/7. What do you think is a better pick on Bind, Brimstone or Omen? Omen is literally the best agent on this map, like, even in Radiant lobbies. Like, Brimstone is okay after Immortal 3. After Immortal 3, I would play Brimstone sometimes when I'm bored of Omen. And when it comes to Brim Viper, Omen Viper, like, if you're not duo queue with that Viper, I would never fucking play double controller meta in ranked solo queue. It's not fucking worth it at all. Literally. And when it comes to, you know, Omen Viper, Brim Viper, like, it doesn't matter. Like, both are fine. Depends on your playstyle and, you know, what you prefer. But I personally like, you know, Omen on Bind. This is the best map for Omen. Like, this is the map where you can have, like, 80% win rate with this agent.
Hey, chill. Chill out them side.
Okay, let's go. Let's go. Showers. Nah, I think there's a second orb on A. Showers, man. Yo, hello, one question. What is your face at Elo? Bro, I didn't play... I didn't play Counter-Strike for the last, like... 8 years. I don't know, man. Like literally, I forgot.
Hey, go B. Go A. Go A.
Yeah, good. I mean, we had this orb here anyway, so I.
Bro.
Someone here.
Kiji, go.
Ooh.
Omen.
Last player
Bro, I commit, man.
Listen.
Someone.
So, let me explain you this situation. Listen. So, Sky is here. Your Killjoy is not listening to you. You're here. You want to pick up the spike. Spike is here. Chamber is somewhere CT. Isn't it logical for you to use your teleport and just teleport on B and fight with the Killjoy and kill the enemy Sky? I mean, these type of mistakes are the mistakes that you need to compensate in lobbies between like in low elo and medium elo. Like your teammates are not gonna listen to you always. Like if my Killjoy is not listening to my call, she doesn't want to rotate and pick up the spike. I'll just rotate with the ultimate and pick up the spike. You know, well, I'm just gonna teleport on fucking spike and that's it. Like, what's the problem? Like, that's why I'm telling you, like, communication doesn't matter in Valorant. If your teammates are not listening to your call out, you need to adapt to this idiot. And when your teammates are idiots, there's always something that you can do to improvise, use their life, and fight the enemies together with them. Don't be one-dimensional. You know, don't be, like, never allow yourself to be tunnel visioned only on one strategy. Always observe multiple different possibilities. I mean, you have the ultimate, like, you can... Okay, we know where are the enemies. What's the problem?
Commit.
Dude, this is such an easy round, man.
Man, that's a...
Okay, listen. Whenever you have the Omen ultimate on this map, as soon as you build it up, you can try the ultimate Omen play on this map, essentially. I don't know, like, this works for me like 80% of times, so I don't know why this wouldn't work for you. Essentially, you tell your teammates to push fast B. You do instantly, as the round starts, a one-way smoke here. Second smoke into the elbow. Teleport in this corner right here. Sound is identical as you're basically teleporting into the elbow. 50% of times, enemies are gonna rotate into elbow to clear you. Around 30% of times, enemies are gonna anchor the hookah and garden. You're gonna take the bomb site for free and kill the enemies. And only 20% of times, enemies are gonna wait for your teleport and maybe peek you and kill you. Even if I don't see the enemies, I will commit to this teleport and I will... I'm just so sorry, bro. Like, I wanna die, man. Been speaking for 2 hours. Even if I don't see the enemies, I will commit to the teleport and just place my crosshair on the most probable angle from which they're gonna peek me. I teleport, and I'm just clearing the site, clearing this, clearing under hookah, clearing long, and that's it. As soon as you get the Omen ultimate, you can go for this play.
The enemy chamber's more away than my fucking Killjoy, and she's the second highest.
You want to play? Let's play. Cover going out. Time to jump. Suppressing. Cover going out.
Listen, if I see you place a smoke on tower one more time, I'm gonna chop off your hands so you don't play Valorant anymore. I mean, bro, like, I've coached you, I've shared with you exclusive coaching videos, I've shared with you the rank playbook. I've said 20 million times, that smoke is the most useless smoke on Bind. Tower should only be smoked in the post plant, or if there is only one enemy on the A site and we can cut off the enemy's rotation, kill that enemy and take the bomb site for free. And even then, when you're doing that tower smoke, it should be a one-way smoke and not a regular fucking shit. Like, come on, man. Listen, Another thing. If you're already playing Omen on the attacker side, and you have some kind of a safe location where you can teleport and cross the choke point without fighting the enemies, essentially engaging the enemies from another angle, then your teammates do it. If your Yoru is already here, teleport here, from this position, engage the enemy, raise, as your teammates are fighting from the choke point. Whenever I have the opportunity to teleport somewhere, instead of running like a pleb through the choke point, like a fat brimstone, I'll take that opportunity. Because as you're going through the choke points, you can get fucked in so many different ways. Random spam, utility, this, that, blah, 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 blah. Why would you risk some shit like that?
It's legit no brain, no?
Especially if you're playing an eco round, you know, hull by round on the attacker side of bind. This play is literally like, you know, the best fucking shit and the best bet for you to maybe take some kills and, you know, with a stinger, with a sheriff, and maybe, you know, kill one enemy on the bomb site, take his gun, kill the rest of the enemies that are in the hookah long, and pinch the enemies together. Like, without that pressure, now pushing onto B side is shit.
Oh my god, I wished.
And also, initially, when you're engaging the enemies in the B long, with a long range weapon, I don't care if you're using a Sheriff, Vandal, Phantom, Guardian, Bulldog, it doesn't matter. Whenever you're picking the enemies in the B long, with Omen, come here to this cactus, place your crosshair inside of this hole, teleport, and from this location, engage the enemies. You're always 1 second faster than the enemy that is running from this to this location. And you can easily surprise the enemies from elevated position. Nobody has a good crosshair placement for this. You can just swing the enemies, take a kill. That's one way of clearing the belong area of the map, instead of just, you know, engaging in this type of a fight.
Oh my god.
And especially if you notice that enemies are aggressive in the hookah and belong. TP play as soon as you have the ultimate. Free bombsite control. And you're putting enormous amount of mental pressure onto enemies.
Placing sentry.
What the fuck
Can
am
you
I
molly
watching,
him?
bro?
Can you molly him? Oh, I blinded him.
Shadows traveling. I have the spike.
Hierarchy, brother. You need to stop watching Joel's, man. Think about it. At least when it comes to the smoke setups.
Maybe you want flank.
Okay,
No, they won't, they don't.
Cover going out.
that's it. Let's go B.
Watch them run.
One enemy remaining.
I didn't clear sight because I'm trusting my Killjoy.
Okay. Okay. Okay, nothing to speak about in this
Check
one.
on it.
It's okay. Except the smoke setup is terrible. Okay.
What's that spike there?
I have the spike.
Okay. Bro.
I've got your trail.
Listen, another advice I'm gonna give you is like, whenever the call from your teammates or without a call, your teammates are fighting for the hook for the showers. You want to start always on the right side. So if your teammates are getting engaged with the enemies here and dying from that position, you can easily just push the enemies back and support your teammates. So from now on, whenever your teammates are fighting for the shower's control, you have like 2+ teammates here. 2 or more. Start from the right side, so that you're ready to flash for them if they are dying in some kind of a stupid way. At least push the enemies back. So the result of the fight is 0.
Got your trail.
Why is his voice chat not showing up? I don't know. Bro, my neck hurts a lot.
Reload him.
Are we gonna... Okay, let's add one more thing here. You still need to focus on this, man. Like, I gave you a crosshair placement training, like, bro, like, on both attackers and defender side, your crosshair placement is up and down, left and right. Like, on defender side, you're not positioning a good crosshair based on the angle that you're holding and based on how enemies are swinging you, peeking you, etc, etc. On the attacker side, when you're clearing the angles, 30-40% of times you're sweeping the floor. I mean, not really sweep, but it's not there.
Cover going out.
This is a suicide smoke setup.
Hey, let's rotate. Oh my god, he's going in there. I gotta go in there. He's pushing. Bro. He's pushing.
My guy, I mean, you said that one guy is pushing you. Is that what he said? And he's still planting the spike.
Bro.
Listen,
Let's
the best piece of advice I can give you for these type of scenarios is the following. Before going for a spike plant, clear every fucking position where enemies can be on that bomb site. Fight every fight that your teammates are fighting. As long as you have the time to plant the spike, you don't need to prioritize planting the fucking spike. So basically, the only time you should die, the only time when it is okay to die for the fucking spike plant is when you don't have any more time to plant the spike and you're forced to plant it as soon as possible, or if you're playing some kind of an eco halberd round and you need to win that round based on timer, lineups, you know, some cheesy play, essentially. Otherwise, if I'm 3v3, enemies can be anywhere around me on the A site. Fake the spike plant, hold the angles, wait for the Killjoy's ultimate to pop, and then plant the spike. Charlatan, why don't you try out for a pro theme? I would kill myself if I was pro in Valorant. Like, if I needed to play this game for 8 hours per day, I would literally kill myself in game, of course, Twitch. Like, I like, this game was fun in closed beta, episode 1 and episode 2. But from episode 2, like, absolute downfall, literally. Like, I think that this is the most unenjoyable esports ever. Like, watching VCT games, for me, is pain in the fucking anal cavity. But I still need to do it because I plan to do, like, some VCT analysis, pro players analysis, etc, etc. But out of all of the games that I played, this is the most boring shit ever, like, when it comes to the pro play and esports. PUBG was more fun. Counter-Strike was mega fun. League of Legends was mega fun. Quake, very fun. Like the only thing that can compete with Valorant when it comes to fucking boredom is probably like Fortnite and Apex Legends, especially Apex Legends. When I see people, you know, healing in the zone and camping outside of the zone for like 10 fucking hours, I wanna unalive myself. And Overwatch is also not, you know, it's like, not really the best game to observe, you know, like there's so many abilities, so many shit happening. Sorry guys, my voice is dying. I actually had like around in episode 1, I actually had like offers from 2 tier 1 teams right now, and I knew that there is no way I can play this game like more than like, I don't know, like 3-4 hours per day maximum, and I'm gonna, you know, coach people, make content, do my own stuff.
Yes, I shoot it. Oh my god, he's a push.
Call of Duty, it's okay. I don't know. I never played Call of Duty that much or watched the COD play, but it's okay. Better than Valorant.
Shadows traveling deep.
Listen, in these type of games, where you notice that your teammates are far worse than you. So in a games where you have the teammates that are either aggressive but bad or passive and bad, that is the moment of time when you need to IGL a bit. You know, in these type of games, playing default, especially on a map such as Bind, is an absolute Sudoku. Because right now, KO can die in a 1 versus X gunfight. Killjoy can die in a 1 versus X gunfight. In these type of games, it is better to lead your teammates towards one specific choke point or bomb site, try to outplay the enemies with some kind of an aggressive play, and try to open the site together with them or alone, keeping your teammates in check. Like, there is no way that during this game, where your teammates are all below 10 kills, and you have like 25 kills, I'm gonna trust my KO and Killjoy to do a proper job lurking, flanking, or whatever the fuck they're doing at this moment of time. These are the games where communication actually matters, and where you need to tell them something. Hey man, you're gonna continue the race climb. Bro, I already completed race to Immortal, and we got to Immortal 1. I just didn't upload the videos. So, the videos for Raze and Yoru are gonna be uploaded during February. You're gonna get a whole series on YouTube. But right now, I'm currently on my 4 weeks of aim training journey. I'm only playing duelists, so you're gonna see me play duelists, you know, like Jet and Yoru and all of that stuff.
I smoke.
Cover going out.
Oh my god.
Careful now. Enemy spotted.
Listen, man, you know, when you're playing Omen, and you notice that your teammates really love to go for some kind of an aggressive play. So, you know, what type of teammates you have right now in your team? You kind of have the teammates that are aggressive and bad. So, those are the type of teammates that we have right now. Teammates that are aggressive and bad. Whenever you have these type of teammates in your team, your primary focus is playing with the most aggressive ally and using his life to open the bomb site, and while making sure that you can refrag that idiot at every single moment of time. With those type of allies, the best idea is to primarily use your utility for yourself and your own outplays, and play Omen, go for aggressive Omen plays. Like if my Yoru is, you know, here, you know, look at the minimap. Like right now you're not doing anything. You're just placing the smokes and that's it. If I'm placing the smokes, my eyes are on the minimap. My Yoru plays the teleport for the lamps. If my Yoru has a teleport for the lamps, like he's not placing that teleport to use it as a fake. Your Yoru teleporting the lamps like every round when you want A. Use that opportunity. Try maybe to use a paranoia in the lamps before he teleports. Teleport together with Yoru towards the lamps. Fight the enemies together. Like that's how you know, adapt yourself to your allies.
I smoke. Oh my god.
I really want to see what Yoru plays your big brain can come up with, but we had some of them. Like to be honest, like when I was doing Yoru to Immortal series, I was like, I still, you know, I was still improvising quite a lot. Only at the end of that series I had some strategies that were set in stone. But the playbook is gonna be interesting. It is gonna be really good for Yoru.
I need one for the Phoenix.
Cover going out.
Oh my god, la 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 la.
I'm speechless.
Let's see a dude. Oh, one more. Chamber last seen the hookah window.
One suppressed.
I mean, like, you know, like, I respect that. I don't know. I'm just gonna ask you one question. How can I become a wizard like you? Because you obviously know something that I don't know. Because I don't know if the enemies are here, if the enemies are here, if the enemies are here. So usually, if I'm rotating from the showers, or generally rotating on the attacker side, and I don't have an info whether or not the enemies could have pushed certain position, I usually clear these positions. Wallhacks? Only explanation. I mean, enemies could have been on so many angles and positions right now, and we cleared nothing.
Bro, what was the timing? I was coming.
Nothing.
Careful.
Come on, let's go. Back soon. Cover going out. Shadows traveling.
Okay, listen. When you're playing on Bind, especially if you're playing Omen and Jet, or Chamber, primarily try to focus onto B long and A short. Only go through the hookah if that is a necessity from you, and through the showers as well. Or if there's some kind of a plan that you made with your allies. Like, your executes are much cleaner, and you have so many different options from B long and A short. It's safer to push towards this choke point compared to this choke point. Like hookah is the area of the map that I avoid 24/7. I will use the hookah to push onto B set maybe once in never. Like your job is to simply flash the hookah, let your teammates go there, and just clear the long. Anyways, long and garden are far more important than having a hookah control. Like, it's totally fine to push on the B set, like with this smoke, this one way, paranoia for elbow, and fighting for the elbow and side control. Like in hookah, there are so many bad things that can happen for you.
Oh,
Are we gonna stack the?
I dropped the spike.
I have the
Stack the teleport.
Nobody's following Phoenix.
Like in this round, it would have been 10 times better if he was actually playing with KO, taking the full like guarding control and long control, and then together with the Phoenix getting out from the site. And bro, like you are peeking the angles and swinging the angles that you don't know about. Like the enemies cannot be there. Like in a game of Valorant, always pre-assume that enemies can be anywhere and everywhere. If you don't have an information whether or not enemies are inside of some kind of a smoke in some specific area of the map, you lose the timing of the enemies. You're rotating from position A to position B. Clear every angle with a proper crosshair placement and proper angle clearing technique for that specific position. Like if I'm rotating from a hookah onto the spot where my KO just died, I'm gonna jump spot this, or I'm gonna jiggle pick this, jiggle this, jiggle this. Move forward. Crosshair there, crosshair here, checking this spot, jump spotting the enemies, pre-aiming these positions, aiming here, down, down, bam, moving forward. Come on, man. Like, you need to play the game of Valorant as if you have paranoia in real life. Like, that's how I play Valorant. Like, I play Valorant in a pessimistic way, where every single match I start with a mindset, my teammates are mentally ill. And I need to compensate every single mistake that they make. And I slowly build up the trust into my teammates as the match is progressing, depending how good and how bad my teammates are on both macro and micro level. When I'm rotating, when I'm pushing through the positions where I don't have information or I lost the timing, I check every corner, every position on the site. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if there is like 10 sky dogs pushing here, Cypher camera here, 3 Sova drones pushing into the site. I'm gonna check these 3 positions always. If there is like 25 Sova drones droning A short, I'm gonna check this spot. No trust. You cannot trust the imbeciles and autopiloting players in ranked environment.
Okay, just shot.
But you didn't die there because of trust, but you died there because, you know.
And
Dead?
You didn't clear the angles. Yeah. Tell him to use low settings. My guy is playing on high settings. But generally speaking, you know, these settings are currently the best settings for Valorant. This is the best shit right now. And you can maybe go material quality medium, and that's it. Like, there is no reason to use any other settings than this. The only preference here is like material quality. It can be high, medium, low. It's really up to you. I use it on low. And when it comes to bloom, it is better to have the bloom off. But when the bloom off is, look how my radiant gun body looks like. Look at the skin. Bro, what the fuck is this shit? Look at now. Bam. It's shiny. Whoa. Smoke setups on A site from hell. And also, why are you always so far away when you're smoking the A site from A short? Like, if I'm doing these smokes, I'm gonna play here. I dodge the raise nade because raise nade is here. Then raise nade pops. I'm already here with a second smoke. Aha! Chamber is on top of the truck. Bam! Chamber is off from the truck. Now I can push in. Push in. My Yoru went in. No one was here. Let's fuck up the enemies, you know. Bop, 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 bop. Like, be more proactive. Be there with your most aggressive teammates. And you need to go for more aggressive plays when you have such a bad teammates with yourself, man. Your Yoru is on site, and you're still A short. And this push was so slow, man. Like bro, you should have been on the bomb site 10 seconds ago. You need to be more aggro. Also, I don't know if this still works. I need to test it in a custom server. But previously, what you could have done when you're picking up the KO from the ground, you can jump, press the pickup key, and you can just bunny hop around that KO. Or you can bunny hop in the same spot, so it's harder for the enemies to kill you. This is really good when you're, you know, picking up the KO behind the smokes or behind the cover. I don't know if they fixed this bug, or it's still in the game. Test it out in the custom server.
Oh my god.
Okay. Okay. I mean, even though
Oh my.
you had 26 kills in this game, your performance on attackers and defender side is borderline abysmal when it comes to the proper team play and when it comes to proper positioning and utility usage as well. Like, 3 main things. First of all, you need to focus more on your allies. Like, how your teammates are playing the game depends how you want to play the game. And depends what it is required from you to do in order to win a specific match. You can drop 30 kills, 40 kills, and still lose a game of Valorant if we are not winning the rounds. And not compensating the mistakes of our allies. If our teammates on the defender side are aggressive, we also need to play aggressive and support them with our utility and our presence. And play in a smart way. If our teammates on the attacker side are aggressive and bad, we need to go for aggressive outplays, use our most aggressive teammates and bait the shit out of them, and make sure that we can refrag that aggressive teammate at any moment of time. I mean, we don't need to bait him, you know, like, just play with him. Go for the aggressive outplays. On a defender side, you're starting way too passively, man. You're selling way too much map control. And essentially, these are the main 5 things that I would focus on if I was you in the following 4 weeks. Crosshair placement and angle clearing. Expecting enemies to be everywhere and anywhere, essentially. I think that, you know, like, your mechanics are not really your main problem. I explained everything when it comes to how much you should train and what you should do, but you really need to start fixing these 5 problems right here. And I think we covered this VOD quite in depth. Like, I don't know if there is anything else I can say. When it comes to you playing Omen, it's okay. I would stick to Omen if I was you. Omen, Chamber, and Viper, whatever. And if you fix these 5... If you apply all of the things that we discussed throughout this VOD review, I think that your win rate on bind should be at least 60 to 70%. Minimum. Minimum, bro. And when it comes to you reaching higher ranks as well, like I really feel that you need to focus. I mean, it's bad to say, like, focus less on your team, on yourself. Like, of course you need to focus on yourself and developing yourself as a player, but you really need to start focusing a bit more, like, on what the fuck are your teammates doing and how can your teammates actually lose you the round and what you need to do in order to compensate these mistakes. Other than that, thank you for watching this VOD review. Join my Discord server for coaching. Join my Discord server for giveaways, because I'm doing the giveaways for coaching and VOD reviews and shit, and Valorant points as well. We're gonna continue playing on my second main account. The goal for this act is to reach Radiant primarily by abusing the aim and getting better when it comes to my mechanical skill. And subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, sub on, you know, both channels first, second, and that's it, I guess. Like,